Namaste. Yoga Sutra. I did 16 yesterday. I didn't change it. Yeah. Book 4, Sutra 17, sorry. I can't count. I could read Sanskrit, but I cannot count. Okay, there we go. Namaste. Tadu parang gang peku shuit te bang te tasiang. Tadu parang gang peku shuit te bang te tadu parang gang peku shuit te bang te tasiang pasutu chinyang tang chinyang tama. Ayasakan tama nui karipang. Ayasakan tama nui karipang. Bishoyang ayahasa sa taimakam ayahasa taimakam jitadama pi sambanan tio paranja yananti jitadama pi sambanan tio paranja yananti jitadama pi sambanan tio paranja yananti yena chang bisho Yena chang bisho yeno parak Yena chang bisho yeno parakatam Chidatam sang bisho yung chinya tasa tatonya he Ponara chinya tahe Pasutunum chinya tasa baru pate pari nuami Pasutunum chinya tasa Chinyang tasa baru patavata parinomi chitatama. Gonna read it one more time from the beginning. It's short. Tadu parang gang peku shuita bang chitatasiang pasatu chinyang tama. Ayasakan tamanui karipang bishoyang ayahasa taimakam jitadama pi sambanan tio paranja yananti yena chang bisho yeno parakatam jitadam sang bisho yung chinya tasatatonia he ponara chinya tahe pasutunum chinya tasaba. Why am I messing up the same place? Pasutunum chinya tasabaru patavata parinomi jitadama. I repeated it. One of the reasons is because I wanted to know if I could improve it, or is it really just based on karma? Seems like karma is definitely involved, meaning if I'm not supposed to say this thing in one go right now, there's no way I could. Yeah, that's kind of like my point. So karma plays a role when you're learning Sanskrit. Imagine that. Well, that's my opinion from my experience. Here we go. Namaste. A thing is known or not known by virtue of its affecting the mind stuff. Objects of sense, like magnets, bind to themselves the mind stuff, as if it had qualities of iron and affect it. The object whereby the mind stuff is affected is known, but he who is other than this is not known. The mind stuff enters into mutations because the nature of the thing is now known and now not known. Veda next, thank you. Namaste. Here we go. Agne Bang Vochi Shu Manandra Yang Devan Jihuba Yang An Devanam Bakushui Yakushui Jam Dam Devan Kurtasana Bimahe Jitra Pano Savaldra Shama Devan An Vidaya Paham Viti Hotaram Devan Gave Diumanantam Samiti Mahi Agnem Burohanan Damatvarem Agnem Bishve Pirang Gahi Devapil Pilhavya Dayem. One more. Agnem Bishve Pirang Gahi Devapilhavya Dayem. Okay, yeah. Gaima definitely plays. I'm not supposed to say this in one go, I guess, unless I kill myself over. And one more time. Agnem Bishve Pirang Gahi Devapilhavya Dayem. I did it. Hotang Ram Devang Burunui Mahem Yajamanaya Sunam Batang Agne Subiriam Baha Devairang Satasi Balhishui Samitanaha Sasarajidagne Taimanui Bushyasi Devangnam Tuta Ukutiaha Niaganim Jata Vedasam Uttarabangham Yabishituyam Tatang Devamurata Bijama Paran Yajinyam Etvanushagadiyam Devabia Jasatamaha Sutarunuitam Bahirang Sadem. One more. Sutarunuitam Bahirang Sadem. Padam Marutom Ashevinang Mitraha Sidanantu Parunaha Devangasaha Saibayang Bishang. Namaste. O Agni, holy and divine, with splendor and thy pleasant tongue, bring hither and adore the gods. We pray thee, thou who droppest oil, bright rayed, who lookest on the sun, bring the gods hither to the feast. We have kindled thee, O sage, bright caller of the gods to feast. O Agni, great in sacrifice. O Agni, come with all the gods, come to our sacrificial gift. We choose thee as invoking priest. Bring Agni to the worshipper who purged the Jews' heroic strength. Sit with the gods upon the grass. Victor of thousands, Agni, thou enkindled cherishest the laws, law-worthy envoy of the gods. Set Agni Jata Vedas down, the bearer of our sacred gifts, most youthful god and minister. Duly proceed our sacrifice, comprising all the gods today. Strew holy grass to be their seat. So may the Maruts sit there on the Ashravins, Mitra, Varunu, the gods with all their company. You wanna read that? Pause it there. Okay. Upanishad next, thank you. Okay, I finished book 3. Today is book 4, chapter 1. Cool. Okay, it's kind of long. It'll take me about 15 minutes. Let me see. Am I cutting off any words? That one. That's it. At least their margins were small. Oh well. Okay, now I'm going to take some cannabis to prepare for this reading. 1 minute, please. Thank you. Okay, the battery right now. Oh well. I'm going to take it in the middle. Namaste. Atang Jatultotiayahu Ata Pratamam Brahmanama Manantram Prata Janako Ha Vaideha Sam Jakratam Ha Yangajinya Barakian Baburanjam Tam Hovanjam Yangajinya Barakian Gimal Tamachari Her Bashu Nichu Chanananan Banantang Nityo Paya Mebam Bashu Nichu Chananan Bashu Nichu Chanananam Nanur Bashu Nichu Chananana Bashu Nichu Chananana Banantang Nityo Paya Mebam almost Bashu Nichu Chanananam Banant Bashu Nichu Chanananam Banantang Nityo Paya Mebam Samurad Iti Hobanjam Manantara to be. Yatatem Kashachida Brabit Dr. Cherono Yatatem Kashachida Brabit Dr. Cherono Metia Brabina Me Chitavang Shali Nilvagavai Shaili Nilvagavai Brahmati Yatang Mangatramana Petramana Charyapanam Bruyat Tatangam Dacha Chailira Bravid Bhagavai Brahmatia Badato Hi Kim Siang Ditya Bravid Tu Tem Nasyang Yatanam Pratishutform Na Bravid Ditya Kapang Devant Na Bravid Ditya Kapang Devant Etat Samurad Iti Sam Bai No Bruhi Nyajinya Barakiam sorry Bhagavan Yatana Ban Kan Shah Pratishutfor Yajinya Tiena Dupan Sitam Kan Prachinya Kan Prachinya Tang Yajinya Barakiam Bhagavan Samurad Iti Hovancham Pancham Bai Samurad Banantuha Prajinya Yatam Lagavedom Yajurvedaha Samabedo Yat Taibangangirasam Samabedo Taibangangirasam Itihasah Puranam Pidyang Upanishadaha Shlokanah Sutran Nuyanubhyang Kyanani Shutam Uttamang Shitam Payitamayam Jam Lokah Parashicang Lokaha Saibanuicang Putani Banchang Saibanuicang Putani Banchang Evan Samurat Prajnya Yanante Bhagavai Samurat Paramam Brahma Nainam Bhagajahati Saibanuyevam Saibanuyenam Putania Pikusharananti Putania Pikusharananti Devon Putavang Devana Pieti Yang Evam Vidavan Netadupan Satem Hasatiar Shapam Sahasram Tadamiti Hobancham Janako Baideha Sang Hobancham Yang Jinyabarekiah Pitang Memaniatam Nano Shishuyo Nano Shishuyo Haretati Mananturanturu Yadavante Kashachida Brabi to touch Chrono Bangamet Yabrabi Naman Yadavante Kashachida Brabi to touch Chrono Bangamet Yabrabi Naman Yadavante Kashachida Brab Kash Yadavante Kashachida Brabi to touch Kashachida Brabi to touch Chrono Bangamet Yabrabi Naman Udanganka Ho Shaul Udanganka Shaul Baliang Shaul Bang Shaul Bana Shaul Bayana Ho Brano Vine Barhomatim Yatang Matra Mana Petra Mana Acharya Bana Bruyat Tatang Tacha Chaul Tacha Chaul Tacha Chaudel Ban Yat no Brabit, Tacha Chaudel Ban Yano Brabit, Brano Vine, Brahametia Branote, Brahametia Branoto he. Kem Sian Ditia Brabit to Den Asian Yatanam Brabdeshutum. Na Mebrabi Dite Na Mebrabi Dite Campan devant Mebrabi Na Mebrabi Dite Camp devant Etat Samurand Iti San Mai Non Purohi Yajinya Barakia Brano Evan Yatanama Ganshah Prateshutua Puriyamitia Naptupan Sitam Puriyamitia Natupan Sitam Kang Puriyatang Yajinya Barakiam Prano Eva Samurad Iti Hobanchang Prano. Sorry, got distracted. Bush. Prano Eva Samurad Iti Hobanchang Prano Siam Bai Samurad Kang Yang Jiam Yang Jayatia Prati Guru Hiasiam Yang Jayatia Prati Guru Hiasiam Yang Jayatia Prati Guru Hiasiam Prati Guru Hunwo Tiapi Prati Guru Hunwo Tiapi Tataram Patang Shangangam Pavati Yang Tishameti Prana Siam Samarat Kamaya Prano Vai Samarat Paramam Brahman Nainam Prano Jahati Saibanuyanam Putania Pikusharananti Devon Putuvan Devana Pieti Yang Evam Pidevan Etatupan Sutem Hasatiar Shapam Sahasram Tadamiti Hobancha Janako Baideha San Hobancham Yajinya Barakiah Pitang Memaniatam Nano Shishuyo Hareteti Manantran Chatul. So long. Double checking how many more. Okay, not that many more. Manantran Chatul. Yadevante Kashachida Brabit Tacha churana ban metia brabina me. Paikul ban bai shuno. Paikul ban shuno shakushul bai. Parhamati. Yatang Mataramanan Pitramana Jariabana Puro Yat Tatang Tadavarshanu Prabit Jakushul Bai. Wow. Tadavarshanu Prabit Jam Tadavarshanu Prabit Jakushul Bai. Tadavarshanu Prabit Jam Tadavarshanu Prabit Jakushul Bai. One more. Tadavarshanu Prabit Jakushul Bai. Brahmetya Pasyato Hi Kim Syanditya Prabitutu Tem Tasyan Yatanam Pratishutvam Nam Mabrabiditya Kapan devant Etat Samarad Iti Samvai no Purohi Yajinya Barakiyan Jakushuraban Yatanama Ganshah Jakushuraban Yatanama Jakushuraban Yatanama Jakushuraban Yatanama Ganshah Pratishutva Satyamitya Tadupangasi Satyamitya Tadupangasi Tam Gang Satyatang Yajinya Barakiyan Jakushuraban Samarad Iti Upanishad Jakushusho Vai Samarad Pasyanantama Huradra Kushviriti Pasyanantama Huradra Kushviriti San Ahadra Kushviri San Ahadra Kushari San Ahadra Kushari. Over here. It's really long. San Ahadra Kushamiti Tatasatyam Pavati Jakushulvai Samarat Paramam Brahmanainam Jakushul Jahati Saivanuyanam Putanya Pikusharananti Devom Putavang Devana Pieti Yang Evam Pidavan Etadupansatem Hasatiar Shapam Sansaram Tadamiti Hovanchan Janako Vaideha San Hovanchan Yajinya Barakiah Pitang Memaniatam Nananoshishuyo Haretati. Just one more page left, I think. Got two more. 1.5. Did I miss any words? That's my biggest fear. No words. Just missed that line at the end. Okay. And how about this one? I'm safe. Namaste. Manantara Pancham. Yadavante Kashachida Pravit. Tachacharanovan Metia Praviname. Galta Pi Bipitum. Galda Pi Bipitum. Paradevang Jah Shrotram Vai Brahmati Yatang Matramana Petramana Charyavanam Bruyat Tatang Tad Paradevang Jobrapi Chrotram Tad Paradevang Jobrapi Chrotram Vai Brahmati Shuranun Bato Brahmati Shuranun Batom Hi Kim Syanditya Prabhitutu Syanditya Prabhitutu Tasya Yatanam Pratishutvam Na Mebrabhiditya Kapa Devang Na Mebrabhiditya Kapa Na Mebrabhiditya Kapa Devang Etat Samarad Iti San Vai no Purohi Yajinya Barakiyan Shrotram Eva Yatanama Ganshah Pratishutva Nanantamityan Vityana Dupangasitam Pratishutva Nanantamityana Dupangasitam Kananantatang Yajinya Barakiyan Tishan Eva Samarad Iti Hovanchan Tasmadavai Samarad Api Yam Gancham Tisham Gachati Naivangsiyam Anantam Gachati Anantam Hi Tisho Pai Samarat Shrotaram Pai Samarat Paramam Brahman Nainam Shrotaram Jahati Saivanuyanam Putanya Pikusharananti Devom Putuvan Devana Pieti Yang Evam Pidevan Etadupasatem Hasatya Rishapam Sasaram Tadamiti Hovancham Janako Paidehaha Sam Hovancham Yajinya Barakiyaha Pitang Memaniatam Nano Shushuya Haretati. Okay, almost done. 1 page left. I'm gonna take cannabis break. 1 minute, thank you. Okay. Manantara Shashutwa. Yadavan tem Kashachita Bravit Tachachrana Metia Bravina me Satyakamo Jambalo Mano Pai Brahmeti Yatang Matramana Pitramana Charyavana Bruyat Tatang Tajajabalo Abravina Mano Vai Brahmetia Manaso Hi Kim Syaditya Bravitutu Te Tasya Yatanam Pratishutwama Na Me Bravitya Kapan Devant Etat Samarad Iti San Vai No Puruhi Yajinya Barakiam Mana Eva Yatanama Kanshah Pratishutwa Nanandam Ityana Tupan Sitam Kananandatam Yajinya Barakiam Mana Eva Samarad Iti Huvancha Manasang Pai Samarat Sutriyama Pihariatem Sutriyama Pihariatem. Did I miss anything? Okay, good. Tasyam Pratiru Paha Putro Jayate Sa Ananando Mano Pai Samarat Paramam Brahma Nainam Mano Jahati Saivanuyanam Putanya Pikusharananti Devom Putuvan Devana Pieti Yang Evam Piduvan Etadupasatem Hasatya Rishapam Sasaram Dadamiti Hovancham Janako Paidehaha San Hovancham Yajinya Barakiyaha Pitang Memaniatam Nananoshishuya Haretati Mantra Saputam. Last one. Any words? This is one. Okay. Here we go. Yadevante Kashiti Namaste. Yadevante Kashitida Bravit Tachachreno Ban Metia Bravina me Vidagataha Shakalium Horodayam Pai Brahmeti Yatang Matramana Pitramana Charyavana Bruyat Tatang Tachachakalio Bravid Hridayam Pai Brahmetya Hridayasya Hi Kim Syaditya Bravitutu Te Tasya Yatanam Pratishutvam Na Me Braviditya Kapan Devant Na Me Braviditya Kapan Devant Etat Samarad Iti San Pai No Puruhi Yajinya Barakiya Hridaya Meva Yatanama Kanshah Pratishutva Satitiritya Nadupan Sitam Kan Satititang Nyajinya Balikiyam Horodayam Evan Samarad Iti Hovancha Horodayam Vai Samarat Saibeshwam Putanama Yatanam Horodayam Vai Samarat Saibeshwam Putanam Pratishutva Horodaya Hieva Samarat Saibanui Putani Pratishtuitani Pavananti Horodayam Pratishtuitani Pavananti Horodayam Vai Samarat Paramam Brahma Nainam Horodayam Jahati Saivanuyanam Putanya Pikusharananti Devom Putavanga Devana Devo Putavanga Devana Pieti Yam Evam Vidavan Etadupan Setem Hasatiarishapam Sasaram Dadamiti Hopancha Janako Paideha San Hopancham Yajinya Balikiah Pitang Memaniatan Nano Shushuya Nano Shishuya Haretati. I'm gonna read the ending and keep messing about Nano. San Hopancham Yajinya Balikiah Pitang Memaniatam Nano Shishuya. I'm not supposed to say it. I don't want to try too hard. Nano Shishuya Haretati. Moving on. Iti Pratamam Brahmanama. Okay, what was the I'm just translating, so okay, cool. Fourth Atyaya. First Brahmana. Janaka of Videha was seated. Yajnavalkya came up. To him he said, Yajnavalkya, for what purpose have you come? Because you desire cattle or subtle disputations? Indeed, for both, your majesty, he said. Let us hear what anybody may have told you. Jitavan Shailini told me, Brahma verily is speech. As a man might say that he had a mother, that he had a father, that he had a teacher, so did that Shailina say, Brahma verily is speech. For he might have thought, what can one have who cannot speak? But did he tell you its seat and support? He did not tell me. Forsooth, your majesty, that is a one-legged. 1. Verily, Yajnavalkya, do you hear? Tell us. Its seed is just speech. Its support, space. One should worship it as intelligence. What is its quality of intelligence, Yajnavalkya? Just speech, your majesty, said he. Verily, by speech, your majesty, a friend is recognized. By speech alone, your majesty, the Rig Veda, the Yajurveda, the Sama Veda, them of the Ataivans and Angirasis, legends, ancient lore, sciences, mystic doctrines, verses, aphorisms, explanations, commentaries. What is offered in sacrifice and as oblation, food and drink, this world and the other, and all beings are known. The highest Brahma, your majesty, is in truth speech. Speech does not desert him. Who, knowing this, worships it as such. All things run unto him. He, having become a god, goes even to the gods. I will give you 1,000 cows with a bull as large as an elephant, said Janaka of Videha. Yajnavalkya replied, My father thought that without having instructed, one should not accept. Let us hear what anybody may have told you. Udangaka Shauribhayana told me, Brahma verily is the breath of life. As a man might say that he had a mother, that he had a father, that he had a teacher, so did that Shauribhayana say, Brahma is the breath of life. For he might have thought, what can one have who is without the breath of life? But did he tell you its seed and support? He did not tell me. Forsooth, your majesty, that is the one-legged one. Verily, Yajnavalkya, do you hear tell us? Its seed is just the breath of life. It supports space. One should worship it as the deer. What is its dearness? Yajnavalkya. The breath of life itself, your majesty. The breath of life itself, your majesty, said he. Verily, out of love for the breath of life, your majesty, one has sacrifice offered for him, for whom one should not offer sacrifice. One accepts from him, from whom one should not accept. I'm going to read it. Verily, out of love for the breath of life, your majesty, one has sacrifice offered for him, for whom one should not offer sacrifice. One accepts from him, from whom one should not accept. Out of love of just the breath of life, your majesty, there arises fear of being killed wherever one goes. The highest Brahma, your majesty, is in truth the breath of life. The breath of life leaves not him who, knowing this, worships it as such. All things run unto him. He, having become a god, goes even to the gods. I will give you 1,000 cows with a bull as large as an elephant, said Janaka of Videha. Yajnavalkya replied, My father thought that without having instructed, one should not accept. Let us hear what anybody may have told you. Bhaikku Bharshno told me, Brahma verily is sight. As a man might say that he had a mother, that he had a father, that he had a teacher, so did that Bharshno say, Brahma is sight. For he might have thought, what can one have who cannot see? But did he tell you its seed and support? He did not tell me. Forsooth, your majesty, that is a one-legged thing. Verily, Yajnavalkya, do you hear tell us? Its seed is just sight. It supports space. One should worship it as the truth. One should worship it as the true. What is its truthfulness, Yajnavalkya? Sight alone, your majesty, said he. Verily, your majesty, when they say to a man who sees with his eyes, Have you seen? And he says, I have seen. That is the truth. Verily, your majesty, the highest Brahma is sight. Sight leaves not him who, knowing this, worships it as such. All things run unto him. He, becoming a god, goes to the gods. I will give you 1,000 cows with a bull as large as an elephant, said Janaka of Videha. Yajnavalkya replied, My father thought that without having instructed, one should not accept. Let us hear what anybody may have told you. Galdapi bipi tang paradvaja told me, Brahma verily is hearing. As a man might say that he had a mother, that he had a father, that he had a teacher, so did that Paratvaja say, Brahma is hearing. For he might have thought, what can one have who cannot hear? But did he tell you its seed and support? He did not tell me. Forsooth, your majesty, that is a one-legged thing. Verily, Yajnavalkya, do you hear tell us? Its seed is just hearing. It supports space. One should worship it as the endless. What is its endlessness, Yajnavalkya? Just the quarters of heaven, your majesty, said he. Therefore, verily, your majesty, to whatever quarter one goes, he does not come to the end of it, for the quarters of heaven are endless. Verily, your majesty, the quarters of heaven are hearing. Verily, your majesty, the highest Brahma is hearing. Hearing does not desert him who, knowing this, worships it as such. I'm going to read it again. Hearing does not desert him who, knowing this, worships it as such. All things run unto him. He, becoming a god, goes to the gods. I will give you 1,000 cows with a bull as large as an elephant, said Janaka of Videha. Yajnavalkya replied, "My father thought that without having instructed, one should not accept." Let us hear what anybody may have told you. Satyakama Jabala told me, Brahma verily is mind. As a man might say that he had a mother, that he had a father, that he had a teacher, so did Jabala say, Brahma is mind. For he might have thought, what can one have who is without a mind? But did he tell you its seat and support? He did not tell me. Forsooth, your majesty, that is a one-legged thing. Verily, Yajnavalkya, do you hear tell us? Its seat is just the mind, its support space. One should worship it as the blissful. What is its blissfulness, Yajnavalkya? Just the mind, your majesty, said he. Verily, your majesty, by the mind, one betakes himself to a woman. A son like himself is born of her. He is bliss. Verily, your majesty, the highest Brahma is mind. Mind does not desert him who, knowing this, worships it as such. All things run unto him. He, becoming a god, goes to the gods. I will give you 1,000 cows with a bull as large as an elephant, said Janaka of Veda. Yajnavalkya replied, My father thought that without having instructed, one should not accept. Let us hear what anybody may have told you. Vidagata Shakalya told me, Brahma verily is the heart. As a man might say that he had a mother, that he had a father, that he had a teacher, so did Dashakalya say, Brahma is the heart. For he might have thought, what can one have who is without a heart? But did he not tell you its seat and support? He did not tell me. Forsooth, your majesty, that is a one-legged thing. Verily, Yajnavalkya, do you hear tell us? Its seat is just the heart, its support space. One should worship it as the steadfast. What is its steadfastness, Yajnavalkya? Just the heart, your majesty, said he. Verily, your majesty, the heart is the seat of all things. Verily, your majesty, the heart is the support of all things. For on the heart alone, your majesty, all things are established. Verily, your majesty, the highest Brahma, verily, your majesty, the highest Brahma is the heart. The heart does not leave him who, knowing this, worships it as such. All things run unto him. He, becoming a god, goes to the gods. I will give you 1,000 cows with the bull as large as an elephant. Okay, I can't read. Sorry, that's the last one. I will give you 1,000 cows with the bull as large as an elephant, said Janaka of Veda. Yajnavalkya replied, My father thought that without having instructed, one should not accept. Sorry, my injuries are getting in the way, so it's acting up. Sometimes it acts up, sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna be in trouble if my Sanskrit sounds better than any other language I speak. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. At this rate, my Sanskrit reading is gonna surpass my English reading. I was born in South Korea, so my first language is Korean, but I don't speak it. So I don't. My Korean is worse than my English for sure. So if my Sanskrit recitation surpasses my English, I kind of want that. Okay, cool. Namaste. Wait, I'm not done. Next and last is Mahabharata. Yeah, I'm having trouble reading like simple words. Like I can't read. See this sentence? I mean, part of that sentence, worships it as such. Worships it as such. It has 3 S's, 4 S's in there. Or you could combine as such, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. So And Sanskrit is a geometrical language, so even if you have injuries, there are ways, you could pronounce Sanskrit. Meaning like it's easier to pronounce Sanskrit than pronouncing other languages, especially if you're injured, if you're, speaking, if your mouth has been injured and you have trouble speaking. Funny enough, Sanskrit has ways to compensate it, and you will sound like an angel or something. But okay, Mahabharata next. Thank you. My third language will be Sanskrit, and it'll surpass my English soon. I mean, in time. Mahabharata next and last. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, it's cool, I guess. Adi Pariva, chapter 74 and 79 in the Ganguly translation. That's the most trusted translation. He actually translated the entire Mahabharata. I don't know how that was possible. It's 1,000 times longer than War and Peace. It makes Tolstoy's War and Peace look like a Lego block, pretty much. It's the longest epic on the earth. You will not find any epic that's longer than that. And best of it, like half of it, only covers 18 days. It gives a second by second description of what was going on in that 18-day war. A lot of things were happening. It chronicled every single, and it's really long. Okay, 74. I'm gonna look at 75 and see how long it is. Wow, the shortest thing ever. 12, that's what it says, 12. Oh, by the way, I could read from 1 through 10 now, 1 through 9 in Sanskrit. Nobody told me. I picked it up. I was like, oh, that must be Prata, Turi, or Turu, Chatul, Pancham, Shashutva, Sapatan, Ashutva, Nava, and alright. It'll come to me. Imagine if I have like memory remembrance. What do you call memory recollections? But within like a couple of seconds, a few seconds. Oh wow, I remember everything. Yes, I not only can read Sanskrit now, I could actually tell you its meanings. We want the surface meaning or the deep meaning? Right, give me 1 minute, and then it's really short. Yeah, and these are regular shlokas. These are respectable shlokas, not irregular because they had to squish in 50 syllable words. Yeah, more than one. Yeah, simple reading. 12 shlokas will take me about 7 minutes or less. The entire thing. All right, do I want another hit? I think so. Do it for Mahabharata. And Mahabharata, once again, is one of my top 3 favorite Vedic literatures. It's Ramayana, and Mahabharata. It's a coin toss, which one is more fun. Both are the most fun Vedic literature out there. Literature books, sorry. I find that Ramayana is easier to read. That it came out, Ramayana physically came out on the earth about 1.5 million years ago. Mahabharata came out a long time ago. I will say 10,000 years ago. So it was a book of prophecy until 5,100 years ago when the prophecies were fulfilled. Now it's a history book. And now they call it, oh, if you believe that Mahabharata actually happened, you're a fundamentalist. So I guess I'm reading a fundamentalist's, work. Here we go. Namaste. Shukran Upancham Yah Pareshwam Naro Nityamati Vandam Satiti Kushati Devayani Vijani Hi Tena Saivamidam Chitam Yah Samutupatitam Kurotam Niguruhunoti Hayam Yatam Sa Yananteti Ujiatem Sadupilna Yo Rashamishu Lamambatem Yah Samutupatitam Kurotama Kurotenam Dirasiati Devayani Vijani Hi Tena Saivamidam Chitam Yah Samutupatitam Kurotam Kusham Yah Samutupatitam Kurotam Kushamayaham Dirasiati Yatora Gasutva Jam Drilnam Savai Purusha Ujiatem Yah Samtara Yate Manium Yotivang Setiti Koshati Yashichan Taputo Na Tapati Durutam Sultasian Panjanama Yo Yajeda Parisheda Yo Yajeda Parishura Yo Yajeda Parishura Nanto Mansi Shatam Samah Na Guru Tiedia Shecham Salvasian Tayora Gurotano Tikah Na Guru Tiedia Shecham Salvasian Tayora Gurotano Tikah Yatu Kumara Kumari Yatu Kumara sorry Yatu Kumara what's going on Yatu Kumara Kumari Yashajam Pairam Kuryu Rachatasah Na Tata Prajinonu Kulvitam Na Tata Prajinonu Chinyonu Na Tata Prajinonu Kulvitam Pidusate Na Balama Devayani Uvancham Pedaham Tam Palapi Taimanom Yadihanantarama Akurote Jati Vande Jan Veda Jampi Balama Shushia Siang. Sorry, I got seriously interrupted. One second. Okay. Here we go. Need some nicotine. Give me one. Recover from the harassment. Okay, here we go. Namaste. Shishya Siang Shishya Burutelhi Burutelhi Shishya Shishya Siang Shishya Burutelhi Na Kushanan Tabiam Bupu Shatangam Tasama the Sangankil na Burut Tasama the Sangankil na Buruteshu Panso Mama na Rochatem Pumam so ye he Ninandanan Pumam so ye hi ninandananti purutana pijanena jam na teshu nivasanan na teshu nivasanan prangajinya shireyolti pangapa buddha tishu yan devanama pijang nananti purutana pijanena jam teshu sangatushu vasatu teshu sangatushu vasatavyam sanpangasaha shirashurta ujyantem vagudurukatam mahakoram duhitul burosha paivanoha vagudurukatam mahakoram duhitul burosha paivanoha duhitul burosha paivanoha vagudurukatam mahakoram duhitul burosha vadurukatam mahakoram duhitul burosha paivanoha na hiato dushikarataram manya lokeshava piturishu yaha sapatani yaha sapatanashiriyam dipatangam hi nashiriha pariyopansatem. Namaste. Too bad I got into. I was having fun. So this happens all the time. So if you're watching for the first time, yeah, if you know how to read what I'm doing, like I'm reading it not just in Sanskrit, I'm reading it in Aryan Sanskrit. Nobody has spoken Aryan Sanskrit in the last 500 years. How am I able to speak Aryan Sanskrit? It's called soul memory. It's part of a memory that remains. I don't remember the whole thing. There are fragments of memories, and this is one of them. So if you read it in Aryan Sanskrit, chances are you will get disrupted with the loud thud in the middle of your climax. Welcome to the real world. And who's causing it? You have to be either a rapist and or a murderer to be affected that negatively by what I'm doing. And that's just the truth. If somebody's offended by, so you wanna deny, like if that person is a rapist and or a murderer, will that person deny what he was doing, that he's been hiding it for the last 15, 20 years, or longer? God keeps, like it says in Kariki Purana that karma lasts millions of ages. Not just years, millions of ages. So, I don't know, people think 40 years, it happened 40 years ago, it's nothing now. Higher, that's all I'm going to say. Here we go. Namaste. Shukra continued. I mean, part of the reason why I have suffered is because I did something wrong in my previous life. And it culminated to what I am now. It took me a really long time to accept it, but once I accepted it, I'm improving now. So there's that. But karma is real. If you have an ill, like who was the last guy? The person living upstairs passed away. I believe he was watching child porn for about 6 years, pretty much daily, and I was uttering Hare Krishna. It's actually on one of the videos. I forget the date, but I've recorded so much, so many videos that like it's in one of them. And he actually disrupted me while I was live streaming. He came down. He said, "Why are you taking away my internet?" I'm like, "What do you mean? You turned off my internet." I'm like, "Your internet's working right now." It says right there. And by the way, I'm live streaming. You're seen on YouTube right now. And he said, "Oh, don't turn off my internet." And a month later, he died. 2 months later, he died. A month or two. This happened in April. He kept on interrupting me. And what happened just now? He did that like 100 times a day. 100 times a day. And then I really focused on this mantra. I focused on this pistol and plasma mantra. I chanted it until I got rid of the negativity that I received from him. And then 2 weeks later, I think the guy passed away. He died in the hospital. He got sick and died in the hospital. So, and that was 5 months ago, and I have improved since 5 months ago. I chanted really poorly compared to how I'm chanting now. So, I don't know. Here we go. Namaste. Shukra continued. Know then, O Devayani, that he that regardeth not the evil speeches of others conquereth everything. Wow. The wise say that he is a true charioteer who without slackening holdeth tightly the reins of his horses. He, therefore, is the true man that subdueth, without indulging his rising wrath. Know thou, O Devayani, that by him is everything conquered, who calmly subdueth his rising anger. Wow. He is regarded as a man who, by having recourse to forgiveness, casteth off his rising anger, like a snake casting off his outer skin. He that suppresseth his anger, he that regardeth not the evil speeches of others, he that becometh not angry, though there be cause, certainly acquireth the 4 objects for which we live. Between him that performeth without fatigue sacrifices every month for 100 years, and him that never feeleth wrath in respect of anything, he that feeleth not anger is certainly the higher. Boys and girls, unable to distinguish between right and wrong, quarrel with each other. The wise never imitate them. Devayani, hearing the speech of her father, said, O father, I know, though a girl, what are our duties and virtues. I know also what the difference is between anger and forgiveness as regards the power of each. But when a disciple behaveth disrespectfully, he should never be forgiven by the preceptor if the latter is really desirous of benefiting the former. I'm going to read it again. But when a disciple behaveth disrespectfully, he should never be forgiven by the preceptor if the latter is really desirous of benefiting the former. Therefore, I do not desire to live any longer in a country where evil behavior is on the ascendant. The wise men desirous of good should not dwell among those simply inclined men who always speak ill of good behavior and high birth. But there should one live, indeed, that hath been said to be the best of dwelling places, where good behavior and purity of birth are known and respected. Is this a sign? Am I supposed to move? The cruel words uttered by Purushotpaiva's daughter burn my heart, even as men desirous of kindling a fire burn the dry fuel. I'll read it again. The cruel words uttered by Purushotpaiva's daughter burn my heart, even as men desirous of kindling a fire burn the dry fuel. I do not think anything more miserable for a man in the 3 worlds than for him to adore his enemies blessed with good fortune, himself possessing none. Indeed, it hath been said by the learned that for such a man even death will be better. Okay, I'm gonna just mark this right now. 279. Okay, so I'm done. Thank you very much. Next is chanting. My chanting is getting invincible. Invincibility has something to do with immortality. Thank you very much. Touching my nose. Have a good day. Namaste. I'm sorry for the interruption. I'm sorry for the interruptor, which had nothing to do with my karma. Has something to do with it. So I'll take I'll take responsibility for my karma. Sorry. Have a good day. Namaste. But yeah, Sanskrit is really tough. 500 years ago, when last time Aryan Sanskrit was spoken, people were complaining. Every time we read Vedic text, somebody is messing with us. How do we deal with that? It happened all the time, to the point that there are no real Brahmanas in India anymore. There are no real Brahmanas left in India anymore. Their souls escaped India, and now they reside in Europe. They reside in America, and parts of Asia. And I don't know, maybe somebody's in Africa too. Maybe I could think of maybe one sage who's willing to go there and just hide from everybody else. That will be an archangel for you Christians. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, I'm done. Have a good day. Namaste. Chanting's next.